All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We always begin with a land acknowledgement. The Forest Preserves of Cook County acknowledge that we are on the land of the Council of Three Fires, the Ojibwa, Ottawa, and Potawatomi tribes, as well as the Miami, Ho-Chunk, Menominee, Sauk, Mishwaukee peoples. As a land management agency, we acknowledge that we've played a role in shaping the histories of local Native Americans by acquiring this land. We also recognize, share, and celebrate their immemorial ties to the land. We commit ourselves to developing deeper partnerships that advocate for the progress, dignity, and humanity of the many diverse Native Americans who live and practice their heritage and traditions on this land today. It's wonderful to be here, and I want to acknowledge everyone who's joined us. First of all, we're in Commissioner Moore's district, Stan Moore, the 4th district. However, he had a flat tire on the way here, so he's not able to join us. We're joined by Cook County Commissioner Donna Miller from the 6th district, Michelle Parker, who's Executive Director and VP of Audubon Great Lakes, Gloria Orozco, Senior Field Organizer with Friends of the Forest Preserves, John Legg from the Nature Conservancy, Marianne Kozlowski, Volunteer Steward at Eggers Grove. Got everybody, okay. And of course, the staff of the Forest Preserves. Our General Superintendent, Arnold Randall, is with us. The South team do outreach and programming here. Adam Kessel, Jessica Becker, Takira Hall, and Claudia Gunter. Are any of those folks here? Did I do all right with their names? Okay. Jessica is going to be leading an intro to birding workshop after our remarks this morning, so I hope everyone can stay for that. Today we're here on the southeast side of the city of Chicago at Eggers Grove to encourage and celebrate bird watching during the fall migration across the forest preserves of Cook County. We stand in a protected reminder of the landscape and ecosystems that once defined the Calumet region. This is a birding hotspot year-round. Thank you. In the coming weeks, visitors can see waterfowl and songbirds that travel through our region along the Mississippi Flyway. Actually, I grew up in St. Paul, Minnesota, which is also part of the Mississippi Flyway. Eggers Grove is a haven for wetland and woodland birds and for nature-loving people because the Forest Preserves and our partners have made considerable investments in ecological restoration here. We've removed invasive species, recreated a historic marsh, and restored native plants. Historically, the southeast side is part of the county that has not received enough attention or investment. Here at Eggers Grove and in other sites in the Calumet region, we're working to reverse that historic neglect. The investments not only benefit wildlife and local residents, they benefit all of us. Everyone who cares about migrating birds can return to the places they depend on for their journeys. Everyone who enjoys birding, or picnicking, or biking, or hiking along the Burnham Greenway Trail. Everyone who lives in a region where the water and air are cleaner because native plants are once again thriving. Next week, we begin our 4th annual Cook County Racial Equity Week. All week long, we cast a broad net to reflect the breadth and depth of the county's diverse residents and how we can infuse equity in government and beyond. A more just and equitable world is a better place for each and every one of us. At the same time, everyone is welcome in our forest preserves, everyone. Birding is relaxing, at times exhilarating. It's an activity that's for everyone. Everyone benefits from being out in nature. Now I'd like to introduce Arnold Randall, the General Superintendent of the Forest Preserves of Cook County.
Thank you, Madam President, and good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. I want to thank everybody for coming out today and to mark the start of the fall with us. So summer is over, amazingly, so fast, right? Autumn is a wonderful time to be out in the forest preserve. The summer heat is past, the trees will begin to change to reds, yellow, and orange, and the annual fall migration of birds has already begun. At the Forest Preserves of Cook County, our staff, volunteers, and partners work to restore vibrant natural ecosystems. We now have more than 14,000 acres of land under restoration or active land management. That's increased almost tenfold from about 10 years ago, so we really have come a long way. These are critical resources for shelter and food for countless native and migrating birds in northeastern Illinois. There's no better example than here at Eggers Grove, which is really interesting. We're in the city of Chicago, the steel mill, in the shadow of the old steel mills and a lot of industry, but we have this really world-class nature that exists here as well. It's pretty exciting. Years of restoration have reestablished a landscape of wooded ridges and long, narrow wetlands filled with sedges and marsh grasses. A big part of that restoration began 3 years ago when we partnered with the Nature Conservancy and Audubon Great Lakes on an audacious idea: replicate how these wetlands change across seasons before industry and other development radically alter the hydrology of the Calumet region. Today, a new water control structure allows us to raise and lower water levels at Eggers Grove by shifting the flow into nearby Wolf Lake. The result is fewer invasive species and more native plants. The wetlands here are returning to a hemi-marsh, a diverse ecosystem where 250 different species of birds have been identified, from bald eagles to yellow warblers to black-crowned night herons. Our investment in Eggers continues. This spring we launched a community engagement initiative to build stronger relationships with residents and organizations in the surrounding neighborhoods, offer more programming, and install new informational signage and directional signage. We've held bird walks this spring and summer, had a fitness hike on the Burnham Greenway Trail, which is nearby, thrown a nature block party, and partnered with the Chicago Police Department for a national night out celebration. We've got more bird walks here each month this fall, and I know Friends of the Forest Preserves has partnered with the Filament Theater to present performances starting this Saturday for young kids about birds. I want to extend our thanks to the Friends of the Forest Preserves and our other partners who work closely with us here on programming and planning, especially Audubon Great Lakes, the Nature Conservancy, the Field Museum, and our many volunteers. I can't really stress enough how important it is to partner and to partner within communities to really be successful to accomplish our mission of connecting people with nature. I also want to thank the state and federal agencies that have provided significant resources, including the Great Lakes Initiative funding to the restoration work here at Eggers Grove, the Illinois Department of Natural Resources Coastal Management Program, and the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service. And thank you to the many staff who play a variety of important roles in making Eggers a great place to visit. Our landscape maintenance department, our facilities department, our resource management department, our police department, our conservation and experiential program department, and all the other departments that really work hard to make sure that Eggers Grove is the best that it can be for the forest preserves and for this community. Research has shown that there are real mental and physical benefits from being out here in nature. You can probably feel it right now. I hope you can. I can. That's not surprising news. You just feel better when you're recharging in the natural world. I hope that everyone is inspired today to get out to your local forest preserve or get out to one you've never visited before. They're all over the place. Get out there for fall migration throughout the year, and I really appreciate again for you being here today. Now I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Donna Miller.
Thank you, Superintendent Randall. Good morning, everyone. I'm Cook County Commissioner Donna Miller, the 6th District, and I'm honored to be here with you today. Thank you, Madam President, and all the other distinguished guests that are here with us today, and here to encourage the residents to get out and experience the fall bird migration. The forest preserves are a great way to get out into nature and exercise, as we've learned from multiple studies, as Superintendent Randall just mentioned as well. Nature benefits our mood, our psychological well-being, our mental health, and our cognitive functioning. It can reduce stress and our blood pressure rate, and being in nature brings a sense of calm and renewal. And bird watching is another great opportunity to get out in nature, experience its beauty, and benefit from its health-promoting qualities. People of all ages watch birds. It's an activity you can keep doing all of your life. Birding is the fastest growing outdoor activity in America, according to the survey by U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. 51.3 million Americans report that they watch birds. So I love to personally take walks in the forest preserves and other heart-healthy activities like climbing the stairs at Swallow Cliff. I posted a girls' night out to bring a lot of women who don't normally experience the forest preserve to come out and do camping in the forest preserve. Madam President came one year when we did this and spent some time with us at that event as a way to enjoy nature and refresh our minds and lift up one another. Stopping to take in the migration of the birds is just one of the amazing things we can do in the forest preserves. With the fall coming and the changing of the leaves, it will be a beautiful experience that I hope everyone takes time to enjoy. I just heard from one of my neighbors. She said there was like hundreds of birds on her lawn the other day. And so we said, hey, it must be because of the fall migration. I think you can tell I'm a fan of the forest preserves, and with a district that has some of the most forest preserves in forest preserve land, I'm always supportive of the great programming that we have here. So congratulations to all the staff for being so inclusive and bringing people here. And I often say you don't need to get out of state. You don't have to leave Illinois or Cook County to find engaging things to do. We have so many right here in our own backyard. So thanks again, Madam President. And I would like to introduce Michelle Parker, the Executive Director and Vice President of Audubon Great Lakes.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I love your good mornings, Madam President. I do. I'm Michelle Parker. As Donna said, I'm the Executive Director of Audubon Great Lakes, which is a regional office of National Audubon Society. And I personally cannot imagine a better way to come back from a long weekend than to be here at Eggers Grove. And I don't know if anybody else noticed, while we've been up here, have you noticed all the people birding behind the camera? Yes, I've been seeing lots of pointing, I've been seeing a lot of attention going. And simply put, it's because birds are joyful. They're joyful. If you really think about them, they are miraculous. There are birds that are coming through Eggers right now, so they're probably all around us right now, who have come here from the Boreal, so up in Canada. They're here, they're hanging out, they're getting some food, they're resting, they're refueling, and then they're headed to South America. And that is miraculous. That is amazing. And they're all around us. And we're so blessed to have a place like Eggers Grove and so many of the forest preserve properties around this county. We're in the city of Chicago. We're in an industrialized region right now. We're also among 240 acres of natural space where about 250 species of birds are regularly counted and come through here. And again, that's extraordinary. 250 species of birds come through and use this space. They may make a home here, they may stay here, they may breed here, they may nest here, they might just stop here and rest and fuel up on their journey south or their journey north. But they're here, and this space is available for us to be here as well. One of the reasons why Eggers is so extraordinary is the partnerships that have come together, many of which have been mentioned today, the community members who have cared for this space and come and find respite and joy in this space, dedicated volunteers like Marianne, who's a steward for this site, countless hours dedicated to making sure that this place thrives for wildlife and the people who come here. I can't encourage enough for people to find a slice of time. Here's a secret about birding. You really don't need anything for it. You don't need fancy binoculars. You don't need scopes. You really don't need anything to bird. All you need to do is come out and be aware. So listen, look up in the trees, look down on the ground, look into the bushes, look for that little flash of movement maybe in your periphery. See if you can get your eyes on it. Some of the birds you might want to look for here is the red-headed woodpecker. And I'll tell you how you can find a red-headed woodpecker. You look for a woodpecker with a bright red head. And then you've seen a red-headed woodpecker. They're all around here. So again, I encourage everybody to come out here, get some fresh air, feel that calm, get some respite, have those moments of joy, have those moments of adventure, have those moments of awe of when you actually see that little bird. And remember, when you see that little bird, wish it well, because it might be stopping here from a journey from Canada to South America. Again, just incredible. So with that, I'd like to pass it over to Gloria from Friends of Forest Preserves, one of our partners who spends so much time bringing people in to enjoy these preserves.
Hello, and thank you for having me here today. My name is Gloria Orozco. Pronouns are she, her. I work with Friends of the Forest Preserves as a community organizer in the Calumet region. Through my work, I get to assist volunteer work days, help organize events at the forest preserves, and have the opportunity to work with some incredible people, including partners, local residents, and longtime forest preserve volunteers. I've had the opportunity and privilege to learn about birds from incredible individuals, learning how to ID them, even if you can fully see them. You are able to observe their behavior, listen to their calls, the way they move up a tree. It is something we don't really think about every day. Becoming so aware of another species, it can really help us become more empathetic of the other living species that we have the opportunity to share space with. It also helps us understand the importance of diversity. Diversity is a big deal in the environmental field. We know that having a variety of species growing in marshes and woodlands, just like the ones found here at Eggers Grove, is good. In fact, that's one of the main roles of a volunteer, to help us collect seeds of different plant species to distribute in their areas in the same site, with the ultimate goal of a healthy, diverse habitat. And just as diversity is important for other species, it is the same for us as humans. We have so much to learn from one another. So I hope that everyone, no matter your age, gender, color of skin, physical abilities, and so on, feels like they can visit the forest preserves. We still have ways to go to make sure these spaces are ready for everyone to feel welcome. But I want you to know that there's incredible humans working to ensure that we continue to move in the right direction. Y a toda mi gente Latinx, espero que disfruten estas áreas forestales. Están aquí para todos y eso nos incluye. Y si nos quieren acompañar este sábado de 8 a 10 de la mañana, estaremos aquí en Eggers Grove para tener una caminata de aves bilingüe y habrá tamales. In the next couple of months, we will also have theater programming for little kids, bird walks, a Day of the Dead event, and many more. Hope you can join us. Thank you.
Jessica's going to lead the hike.
All right. We're going to have a hike, is that right?
A workshop and a hike.
A workshop and a hike.
Yeah, we take questions from the press first.
Excuse me. Just a second. I want to thank Lainey Kleeman for being our sign language interpreter. Thank you, Lainey. All right. Arnold.
I can get the cost numbers for you. I don't have those off the top of my head, but I can get that. So it really entailed, the part of the marsh, the problem with the marsh was that it was holding too much water. And so we worked to get some federal money to be able to lower the level of the marsh so that when the marsh floods and it's holding too much water, invasive plant species thrive, right? And so that's problematic. When it gets back to its preferred level, then the native plants that are there have a chance to thrive, and that means all the birds and other animals and fish all do better when you have a healthy ecosystem in the marsh. And we'll get the numbers to you, the exact numbers for that.
So we did a lot of work to what? Change the water levels, right?
To change the water levels and to really improve habitat.
Okay. All right. Other questions? All right. Thank you so much for joining us.